Free thinking, innovative, totally open-minded. Tommy,
Who are these people?
how's everyone doing?
The European countries, who are obviously far more affected than us, have given a tiny fraction of that number. So why is that? Because I know I could have gone over there and said, listen, you're going to put up the same money or more money than us, and they would have done it gladly. But we just give money out, and we don't, we have $35 trillion in debt. We have all of these problems, and we're handing money out. And honestly, that was something, because right now it's much tougher to solve, because I guess they have 35 times, Russia has 35 times the firepower, and they're looking to obliterate the weapons as we send them in. They're obliterating those weapons, and a lot of bad things are happening, but it's a much tougher deal to solve now than previous. But think of it, you had me 4 years as president, you never had a problem with this. Nobody even talked about it. Nobody even talked about it. And in all fairness to Chuck Todd, he said that. He was interviewing his Secretary of State. He said, how come this never happened as it was really heating up? How come this never happened under the Trump administration? And then I added something to that. How come North Korea, which is now doing things that they shouldn't be doing, but we didn't have a problem? Remember, Obama said we're going to end up in war with North Korea. We didn't have that. I got along great with Kim Jong-un. They said it was terrible that I got along great. It's terrible that he gets along with a man that has nuclear weapons, serious nuclear weapons. But we got along great. No problem with North Korea. We had no problem with Russia. We had no problem with China. China would have never even thought about taking over Taiwan during the Trump administration. Would have never thought, because they knew the consequences. And maybe the worst is going to be Iran, because Iran very shortly is going to have a nuclear weapon that they never, ever would have had. They were ready to make a deal. They would have made a deal within 1 week after the election. They would have made a deal within 1 week of the election. They were ready. And now you read the papers, they have all of the enriched material. They can have nuclear weapons in a very short time.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
I'm talking about a matter of months or less. They might even have one now. And once they have, the game is a whole different game. It's a horrible thing that's happened to our country. Our country has never been in a position like this.
Tommy Nation Politics, guys. And I'm free-thinking, innovative, and totally open-minded here with Jabari of the Voice of Change podcast. Jamarr, some very interesting things that the president has accused this Biden administration about. I mean, do you have any response for his holding nothing back talk about how the Ukraine wouldn't have even happened? China wouldn't even have happened. Nothing would have happened with this guy.
I mean, I say it all the time. This guy, you just hear the cockiness of it. He's like, yeah, they know what it is. They know not to do it. And, maybe the conflict between Russia and Ukraine would not have happened. I think it definitely would have happened if he was still in office. But we probably would have had a bigger problem with Iran. He was right about, the whole thing with North Korea. He's like the only president from this generation that has went over there and talked to Kim Jong-un. But I don't see the Ukrainian thing not happening under his administration, but definitely would have been something with Iran. It had to be.
I'll tell you what's happening right
Iran
now.
Was the pressure point.
Iran was the pressure point?
What's that?
You think Iran was the pressure point because we took out Soleimani, right?
Yeah. I was a little weary around that time when that happened.
I mean, I was too. I thought that all hell was going to break loose. It turned out that they fired their missiles somewhere else, and I just, the establishment kept on rolling on. It doesn't look like the establishment's really I don't know, doing all too well. As far as this is the funny part. It's like you have Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about defunding the FBI. You have the GOP primaries for today. Liz Cheney braces for loss in Wyoming. And Palin and Murkowski races highlight GOP shift in Alaska. This is from USA Today. So it appears as if the Trump wing of the party is fucking rejuvenated. They're ready to go for 2024. And they see vengeance. Like the Batman, bro. I have vengeance.
Yeah. I mean, he has the momentum now, and all these things over the FBI, dude. If they see, this is the issue. Like, if they're going to really do this and try to make sure he doesn't run again, they better succeed with this. Because if they don't, he's going to unleash so much hell. He's going to literally go ham on the Democratic Party, and he has the followers.
Did you hear that speech though, bro? It's completely stupid. It was stupid as fuck. China wouldn't have even had Taiwan. Like, you were talking about the one China policy. This guy doesn't even know history. He doesn't know policy. He's just talking shit, bro. And he's gonna fucking really clobber the Democratic Party like this? I don't understand. I don't get it.
I'm saying it's gonna be crazy. I'm just like, I got my popcorn out and I'm just watching. I'm trying to see what happens. Because it's just another role of Democrats and Republicans trying to prove who's the most corrupt. And the FBI is so fucked up for this. You know what I mean? Like, they have been so fucked up for a long time since they started. And
I mean, under the leadership of
Republicans
Edgar J. Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
defund FBI. What?
What do you think what do you think is going to come of that? What do you think is going to come of that? Like, the FBI has been literally, they've monitored all kinds of racial groups, the communists, of course, black nationalist groups. The FBI deemed radical every radicalized group that they deemed radical and was a particularly dangerous threat. Now they have our entire country on a domestic terrorist lockdown. So this is like, we're at DEFCON 5. Do you think that this Marjorie Taylor Greene comment, I mean, I know she's a bad faith actor, like that whole conversation with Marjorie Taylor, with Brianna Joy Gray and Jake Uger. But do you think the conservatives are going to present a feasible argument against the repression and the tactics of the FBI, or are they just talking, they're just blowing smoke?
It's all just blowing smoke. They're just mad at the FBI right now. It's nothing tangible. And as leftists, we can lead them to something tangible. Maybe we can help people understand, like, you know, this is bigger than just Trump being invaded. But nah, this is reactionary, as it always is with Republican supporters, right wingers.
Would you compare this to the kneeling during the George Floyd protests?
Yeah.
So that leaves a whole bunch of disenfranchised fucking people, bro, that have no party and see a new fucking Klan and the FBI counterintelligence programs that have gone amok. I mean, we all know Congress has a 16% approval rating for a reason, but the people that are not approving of them, like Bernie Sanders listed off in his injunction against the Inflation Reduction Act, quote unquote. He said, Bernie Sanders, I will never forget this. He said a good group of people in this country are starting to want to take arms against the government. He said, take arms against the government. Like, when a sitting senator is talking about an insurrection of greater proportion, you got a 60% approval rating. You've got complete disenfranchisement on the right and the left, bro. Where is there to go? What is there to do? What is next? How do we ensure domestic tranquility? Yes, bro. He said in the because he was talking about how the CBO score came out and the Inflation Reduction Act was going to cause a minimal impact to inflation. I don't understand. You know why they call these bills what they call them, the Inflation Reduction Act, because it's not going to help inflation. They call it the CARES Act because they don't give a care. They call it the fucking Patriot Act because it's not patriotic. They take you without due process. and that's not
Facts.
patriotic at all.
Yeah.
So, like, they named this Inflation Reduction Act. 87,000 IRS agents coming your way. The
So
taxes they raised on us, even though they promised they wouldn't, they'd raise it on people $200,000 or more.
right.
This Democratic Party, bro, is at a fucking, it's at a supreme crossroads. They were talking about a crossroads when Biden was talking about restoring the soul of America. This is a crossroads in and of itself. This is at a national level threat, bro, that may have not existed before. You have complete disenfranchisement, 16% of the entire Congress at a disapproval rating. You have them doing robbery after robbery, taking the taxes of the American people. Them
Wow.
raising the taxes on us after they promised
Yep.
not to. And now they're going
Yep.
to release the hounds of 87,000 IRS agents. So
I'm gonna
what
tell
in the...
you this. This is
Yeah, go ahead, please.
this is just this is stupid. And and they want to talk about authoritarianism. This is authoritarianism, straight up. They are pulling out. This is fascist. This is unbelievable. You're literally, here we are, an example of the working class suffering over these policies while the rich is untouched. And this is why I laugh at people that try to make a case about uh, stopping people that make over $400,000 from being taxed more. When you don't even make $400,000 a fucking year, and you worrying about him when you only make like 40,000 a year. And that's unlogical. This is what they're being unlogical.
But this is exactly
And
what this capitalist system has incurred. I
and
talk
back to Bernie
all day.
Sanders.
I talk. What do you mean from Bernie
That
Sanders? Like
when
the
he
comment?
critiqued that bill, yeah,
Yeah,
because
he
he was
said that.
critiquing that bill, and they shot
Yeah,
everything down that he suggested, and he
of
still
course.
voted for it. That was weak.
Just like AOC grandstood and said this CARES Act is going to cause the biggest income inequality gap since the Gilded Age, and then she votes for it in a fucking
Right,
silent majority vote. This is
right.
what the squad does. They neckle under. This is what Jimmy Dore called, bro, and that's why Cenk Uger's so pissed off
The big
about.
baby Jake Huger.
Oh yeah, bro. Like he's all going off on Breonna Joy Gray about Jimmy really hurt me. He said
Right,
nice dress skirt, Anna, and then he proceeded to leave TYT. And so now, like literally, we can't come to terms with talking to the right wing about anything.
right,
We can't get the right wing to agree on anything because we got fucking Jake Uger and the Young Turks blasting the right wing nonsensically for things that we both agree on. Jake Uger says they're gonna call, he's gonna say I welcome you and whatnot. He's not gonna welcome Louis Gohmert's people for the Article 4th Convention. He's not
no,
gonna welcome any right wingers to talk about defunding the FBI. He's gonna create more division and he's gonna create more of a gap between the right wing and us. And what's happening is this an insane amount of people have already disagreed with Congress's tactics, and they already know that they're funneling the wealth and the labor from the middle class to the wealthy. Even the right knows it.
right,
The only right-wing people that don't know it are the people that are constantly talking about how capitalism is the best thing since sliced bread, even though the scarcity and supply and demand function has literally risen gas prices. It wasn't the
right,
president. It wasn't President Joe Biden. It was the fact that these OPEC nations could raise the prices by creating scarcity because they
right,
have the monopoly on oil. That's why they created scarcity, and that's what made the supply scarce and the demand greater, and that's what rose the prices. It wasn't the president. So
right.
you have the president now trying to take he's trying to take credit for the gas prices coming down a little bit, which is the worst thing you could possibly do, Joe Biden. And now
Yeah,
he's got this Inflation Reduction Act. He got this Inflation Reduction Act that's going to literally unleash 87,000 IRS agents on us.
right.
So you're gonna spend $80 billion
There you
employing
go.
87,000 IRS agents to get what $20 billion of more coupons and things that we missed from our taxes audits from the
I
American
really
people. You
don't
think that's
know,
gonna help
bro.
the election process and the electoral map, bro, from the Democrats? What is their strategy, bro?
Nah,
Really?
their strategy is to fail. They have no one to replace them after Biden loses his mind or something happens. He's not going to win next year, and they're just literally making it so easy for the Red Squad to come in. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, they're not going to do great neither. So we're just going to go through this cycle 24/7. They need to stop with this. It's they're untouched. They're untouched, and they really believe that they are in touch. And it's saddening. I wish there's some way to wake them up. I wish there is some way to wake them up, but
I mean,
it's not.
wake up who? The establishment Democrats who cheated Bernie Sanders out of the fucking primaries twice.
Yeah,
The same conventional Democratic Party that literally, the Progressive Caucus, they supported Nina Turner's rival, a corporate Democrat in her own district, and flooded her district with money from Israel. These
right,
are the guys who are going to wake up. I think they're already awake. In fact, I think the only
right.
buddy who's not, I think they're all touched by the corporate
Yeah,
money, the corporate lobbyist
yeah. The
interests, bro.
squad goes in there all fired up, and they want to play nice. Like this is exactly what I said was going to happen when people were mad at me about going like against Ocasio Cortez after she literally funded DSA with one vote. That was it for me. Like I was like, let's see what she was going to do, but she literally voted to fund the DHS, the DHS under Trump's term. So y'all literally gave him $50 billion so he can have these agents go out with no identification. We saw what happened in Oakland. This is the same mentality that they're doing now. Now we got to deal with the IRS with this, and I hope people literally like see this as, damn, I gotta do the best I can for my taxes. But no, a working person will be fucked over. A working person will be snatched up, and
It doesn't
that's
matter
just the
how
way
well
it
we
is.
do with our taxes. These guys smell blood and they want money. They're
Right,
sharks.
right.
So they want as much money as they possibly can from us so
You
that they can
sure this
fund
is
their
not
war
Nazi
chests.
Germany? I'm
You
saying.
know, the only difference is that the fact is there's no ovens. There's no real. This is okay. So this is my big deal. Speaking of Nazi Germany, so Trump's house got raided, bro, and he's caught
Right,
this guy. He could take this as a moment to galvanize and unify the country. This guy,
right,
because his predecessor says, he's gonna restore the soul of America, but instead Trump comes out and talks about how it's the radical leftists. It's the radical leftists.
it's always
The
us.
radical leftists, bro. The FBI is the radical leftists.
Nah,
Trust
not
me.
really.
The FBI is the radical leftists. This guy's
If
ridiculous to the fucking millionth power, bro.
If anything, the
It was
FBI
fun.
is the enemy of the radical left. The FBI has put away more people on the left than anyone on the right when it came to targeting political figures and leaders, especially in the black community. I mean, hell, they were telling Martin Luther King to kill himself. They were sending him letters, and now they got the nerve to have a monument for him on their
I know.
headquarters. Like
That's what
the
they do, though.
fuck?
They make you martyr. They'll love to make you a martyr. In fact, that's what they did to John Dillinger. That's what they did to Al Capone. You think these guys took out criminals? They've never taken out a fucking criminal in their fucking lives. These criminals have taken
Right.
themselves out with fucking bad taxes, with fucking drunkenness, with fucking shooting themselves in the foot. And the FBI takes credit for it. The only thing the FBI does is fucking mope around. This is an interesting thing though because the 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 fucking warrants for the United States Department of Justice, it came out via the Hill today. And I'm looking through this warrant. It's signed by a magistrate, a U.S. district magistrate. It's run off by the Attorney General of Florida, Miami, Juan Antonio Gonzalez. It's got like the right paperwork. I don't think that anything's wrong with this warrant except for the fact that they say in the preamble of the warrant, we're gonna fucking search 45's offices and bedrooms. They got the list of numbers and bedrooms, and but they don't have specifically what they're looking for in the warrant. It's not redacted at all. It's just not in the warrant. And how a judge signed off on such an ambiguous search is kind of suspect to me. That's the only suspect thing I can find is
Yeah.
how a U.S. magistrate, district court judge in Washington, D.C. would look at this guy. And we're gonna go to fucking Mar-a-Lago, 45 bedrooms, 35 little suites. We're gonna look inside his safe. We're gonna take out, but they don't have anything they're looking for. But it's all signed by a magistrate district court judge. It's got a FISA warrant backup, and it's signed also by the attorney general. So everybody signed this shit. Nothing's really redacted. At the same time, we have no idea what they're looking for. Come to find out, it's some kind of nuclear-related classified documents. This is literally a jump the shark
Which is
moment.
BS. You really
This is
think
a
that
jump the
they're
shark
going to
moment,
wait
bro.
that long? They're going to wait that long
For
to
18
go
months,
and
bro.
get... Yeah. No.
They were so
BS.
busy cleaning
No
up
new
Joe
codes.
Biden's fucking shits that he fucking shit his pants. They forgot to go get from Mar-a-Lago the nuclear codes. Oopsie daisy. The fucking
Yeah, and they're like,
FBI.
oh, it could go to Putin. That is just trying to, again, say that he's like with the Russians when he's not. He's not a Russian bot. In fact, he sanctioned the shit out of Russia. And he had U.S. soldiers in Yemen, apparently. This is still not confirmed yet that they were shooting at each other in Yemen and shooting at each other in Syria. But he did mention that U.S. soldiers had killed Russian soldiers in the Middle East. So why in the hell would he have a small conflict with Russia and sanction the fuck out of Russia, but be a Russian bot? That makes no sense. Why would you have a president that you think is treasonous to do the whole full term? The new codes makes exactly no sense. This whole Russian conspiracy has been disproven, and it just needs to die on the damn plank or some shit and just hop
It's
off.
not gonna die.
Throw the body.
Just like the liberals are still not fucking finished with their Russia memes. This is not gonna die either. In fact, that's the whole part of the FBI's job is not really to arrest you or to uphold the rule of law. It's to try to expose some kind of ambiguous criminal background on a national basis, the people that they're investigating, and discredit these people. That's their entire job to do, just like they did it with the blacklisting in the 1950s, just like they did it with the Black Panthers Party, just like they did with Martin Luther King and his, the letters he wrote. They wrote about his affairs. The discrediting, the blackmail, that's FBI. That's the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And so
And they
this
got that
is
happening
nothing
with
new.
Marcus Garvey. They did the same thing to Marcus Garvey.
It's nothing new except we got a crime bill writing psychopath, dementia-riddled old man who let them off the leash. And I think maybe that's why Director Wray, even though he was appointed by Donald Trump, he's happy with his new master, bro. Because this new guy wrote a crime bill, bro, that incarcerated almost 33% of the population, bro. We have the biggest penal colony in the entire world.
Yep, yes we do.
Far
We're only
more
4%.
penal colony. Yes, far more of a penal colony than the Communist Party of China. Think about that. While you're fucking talking about capitalism, this right winger guy I talked to, his name was Dees Muff. He's talking about how communists like to subvert the governments and they like to make sure. He didn't know a goddamn thing about supply or demand or economics or the capital that he was talking about. But he was sure that the communists were subverting the whatever. This is the FBI's job. I was trying to point that out. I was trying to give significant attention to that. It's like the right wingers don't fucking
American
realize
knows.
this, bro. It's like they can't get it through their fucking gun-toting, fucking flag-wearing head that their fucking FBI has been doing this all along.
Yeah.
And now they want to cry when it's them. I think that's ironic, bro. I want to hand Marjorie Taylor Greene a tissue. I want to give her some Post-its at the door, just like she gave AOC.
She's an idiot. Like Marjorie Taylor is an idiot. That's all I have to say about that. Like ACO, she disappoints me.
ACO. I like that better than AOC.
I said ACO. Jesus.
I agree.
AOC,
she is AOCO.
Disappoints me.
If that means useless. That means useless sack of fucking fraud squad material who doesn't pass a Medicare for All bill, doesn't do force the vote when she has leverage over Nancy Pelosi in the speakership, doesn't fucking codify Roe v. Wade into law without a staff, doesn't try to legalize marijuana when everybody's crying about Brittany Griner and people getting 9 years in Texas for marijuana here.
Right. Yep.
Okay, but that's not all the top, bro. Now we got in Reuters. Okay, it's August 16th, bro?
Yep.
Biden is now passed a ceremonial Inflation Reduction Act, and he gives his only pen to Joe Manchin, because Joe Manchin is his right hand, right? The guy who sank his Build Back Better Act, bro. The guy who said we're not going to get paid family leave. The guy who said we're not going to fucking have fucking health care during a pandemic. He gives
Joe
his
Manchin.
last pen to Joe. Here you go, honey. Your wife's in my cabinet, Jack. I don't work for you, buddy. Okay, so he got $750 billion of climate, healthcare, and taxes. That's what Reuters says. I've read this bill. It's nothing but IRS tax subsidies and Medicare. They're negotiating with pharmaceutical companies that have government contracts. But
Right.
folks, guys, look, Jack, this Inflation Reduction Act, he says, it does so many things for so many years, so many people. We make it fought to happen, Jack. He can't help but talk about how the Democrats defeated the big Trump companies. The Democrats defeated the Trump companies like Pfizer and Moderna, even though he's touring Pfizer and Moderna. He turned them yesterday. The big Trump companies happen to be the same companies who have government contracts to this day. It's funny, bro. They're calling it, back in the day, remember they called it the Trump vaccine?
Yeah.
Now it's the big Trump companies. They have government contracts still, but they're still called the big Trump companies. But for some reason, in this Inflation Reduction Act that has to do with healthcare, these vaccines take about fucking 50 pages of this bill. So what does that mean? What is exactly healthcare to the Democratic Party? What is healthcare to the Democratic Party? That's a good
I
question.
don't know, actually, because if they cared, they would give us free health care. It would have did it under Obama.
You loser! You head out. You're a welfare queen. With Jack. I mean,
look at it this way.
yeah.
I just think it's funny that, that they are trying to push this vaccine thing, but it's like, dude, listen, you had to remember that. Oh my God, I lost my thought. I'm gonna bring it back.
You have to remember that it's 64% efficable and like it doesn't work. It wasn't supposed to really work for COVID. It was supposed to work for capitalism. See, in order to maximize profits, what you need to do is you need to have return customers. And to have return customers, you can't solve a problem with a fucking, you can't be a problem solver. You can't have solutions. You have to maximize profits by creating a problem and then selling a solution that doesn't work. It's kind of like a PlayStation where the disc skips. So you get the PS2 where that's not going to happen, but it does anyway. So now you got you got the PS4. You fucking cashed in your old PS1, and you got the booster. You got the fucking It's just like that, bro. It's just like
I'd
everything
rather
we do.
just one jab and go. We don't need to monopolize off the vaccine.
I knew it was nothing but a capitalist ploy the minute that they said we have to go back and get another one. That was the fucking red flag for me. Now that everything's coming out with it's what's sad, bro, is that not only do we're the only industrialized country without healthcare, but we're not even doing tests on this vaccine, bro. We're not even doing science, bro. Did you notice that? Have you seen a Duke or Harvard study talking about the effects of long-term vaccines in children? Or do you see these studies from China and in Thailand? It's scary, bro.
I haven't.
It's scary.
Look into that. See what's going on.
They did a study in Thailand talking about cardometriosis. I'm not a doctor. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but apparently, like 7 in 131 kids was experiencing heart damage with the Moderna vaccine, and so they banned it in Sweden, Denmark, of course, all the progressive.
Myocarditis, right? That's
myocarditis. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Myocarditis.
One of those terms.
If only Duke or Harvard or one of the Ivy League schools could have done a study on that. Like they do studies on the fucking long-term effects of, getting welfare handouts.
Right.
Well, they can do a study on this vaccine. Like they have government contracts for. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. They just don't. Like, look, I'm not a doctor. I get it. But we have to literally understand that whatever they're trying to do right now, we have lost more people than we had under the Trump administration. It's a lot higher now.
It's not because he restored the soul of America. The soul the soul takes about 5,000 away. Okay, look, buddy, were you in Iowa? No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that it's just that, like, guys, it's not working, and we need to figure out other ways.
How dare
And
you, anti-vaxxer, trucker, Tucker Carlson, traitor, Tulsi
the
Gabbardist,
propaganda,
a
a lot.
fat
All right,
apologist.
no,
Look,
10
you
out.
fake lefty. Go ahead, sorry. I'm trying to be Jake Uger. I'm trying to be Jake Uger.
A lot of I know a lot of people that think COVID is fake. So I'm just like, I can't even have this conversation with you because you don't even think it's real.
I do think it's real. I think it's real. I think we all have real problems, and they're never going to be solved by capitalism because capitalism isn't supposed to solve problems. It's supposed to maximize profits.
Right.
Literally, guys. Just take an economics class, one class. You'll know that. That's what I learned at day one: supply and demand, bro. If you don't
Right.
got no supply or demand, you ain't in business, bro.
Exactly.
So I don't get it. It's really not hard. It's not a fucking conspiracy theory. I
No,
mean,
it's not.
I feel like economics is kind of a fucking fairy tale though, because like this is happening, and maybe it should be, but but I mean, if you go back to like all of our problems, bro, it's mostly caused by the wealthy wanting to maximize their profits and like literally teaching us that, and we go along with it. Also, we go along with the fact that we think the government's here to help at the same time that we know economics.
Yeah. Um, I know, right? People, it's just the idea that they still believe that they're still good in this government, and you have to understand that it's doing exactly what it's meant to do. It's for you
Yeah,
to be at the bottom, and for the rich to get richer.
that's
That's
who
what it's
pays
doing.
them. That's who pays them. He doesn't work for you, buddy.
Yeah. It's like what Dave Chappelle said. Like, Trump's not working for y'all.
He's
Trump's working for
working for
me.
me. Yeah, they laughed about that, bro. But it's true. And Dave Chappelle
Trump
wasn't
don't
even
give a
fucking
fuck
joking.
about you, motherfuckers.
That's kind of the weird thing about Chappelle, bro. Is the he's not really joking, but people are laughing.
Yeah,
I find
yeah,
that
he's
weird.
dead serious about that.
He's dead serious about a lot of shit, bro. And he's just saying it. And everyone's like laughing. I guess he could do that. You know who's not laughing there? This is what I want to kind of close on. Because I want to close on Putin suffers Black Sea crisis. Russia loses $750 million flagship. It's from the Associated Press. Uh, we got the Ukrainians, of course, Amnesty International,
My
using
old
their
job,
what?
I used to
Amnesty
work there.
International? How
Yeah,
was it? How was it?
dude, we gotta talk about it. My political journey. I used to work there, and I used to be a wolf with the wolf pack. Cenk Uger's wolf pack. I used to be a
Yeah,
part of that
I believed
organization.
in wolf packs till he stopped talking about it, bro. I think that we should get money out of politics somehow. I think every one
Yeah,
of us, and he had a good idea with the article, the Constitution and Convention. Whatever happened to that?
he lost his mind. But no, continue with your closing.
Okay, the closing is okay. So the British defense officials have said that Russia is struggling to control the Black Sea, and explosions have rocked the Crimean Peninsula. Are you familiar with this at all?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell me anything about this, bro? Because you're usually the guy to go to on
Now, is
this
this the
whole.
attack that just happened recently?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah. All right, yeah. So I was listening to Fault Lines, and the Scott Scott Ritter was on, and he's the former U.S. Weapons specialist. He's always um, on point with the Ukraine Russian conflict. Um, so well, my understanding is that this was a big deal. They had to do something to basically prove that they can handle the donations that they are receiving, the guns they are receiving, because the UK and our government is very unhappy with what Zelensky leadership has been so far. So they needed to do something to show the worth of what they're bringing in. I'm talking about what, billions of dollars every month. So this is just showing their expertise that they can do something like this, and they probably are going to try to do more things like this. But this is just a long down rabbit hole of what is inevitable. The war is practically over at this time, and Russia could just send in more troops and more troops and more troops. Ukraine's being carved up. The weapons defense ministry of Ukraine is not happy with Zelensky at all either. So it's just it's just it's sad because people died, but it's just games for right now. That's all it is.
What about this Russian general threatens to bomb nuclear power plant? What is that? Is that games?
First of all, that's their own nuclear power plant, from my understanding. Ukraine wants to attack that plant so they can stir up the war more. If people thinks that Russia is trying to attack and destroy a nuclear power plant that can get more countries involved, stuff like that. It's a tactic to stir up the war. When you look at the weapon system that they use, it's American weapons, and these are weapons that clearly Ukraine only has the capacity to hold. Russia does not have these weapons. It's the same thing with the confusion with the prison as well too. That Azov members were killed in. Those were high Mars. The high Mars came from us. What's funny is that the Ukrainian we got a message. Is that what this is?
Yeah.
It's funny that the Ukrainian um, president's wife came over here and got those high Mars from us, and then they use them that quick, killing their own people. So you just get it's they're trying to get the war up higher so they can get more people involved. We have nobody but mercenaries there and contractors. We're not really there. We just have like people on our
We've got
payroll there.
mercenaries, contractors, and we've got black ops there. And
Right,
his approval's risen 40%, highest in 2 months according to Reuters. Let's listen to our
right.
message. See what Queen says.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
Okay, can you
they
post the
had
link? I
20
want to
deaths.
see the
Oh,
news. Thank you.
wait, repeat that. Sorry about that.
Okay, can you post the link? I want to see the news. Thank you.
Oh, they want to see a link.
Link of the news, I guess. I guess they're still
Okay,
onto the. See, I don't really post links of news. I post links of documents and things. I'm Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. I don't post news because the news is run by the wealthy and the elites and all that. So, but I do on my website. I will post the documents that we're talking about and the sources that we get our information from. We're not
right.
going to post. We're not going to post mainstream media news to links because that's insane. Sorry about that, Queen Infinity, but I don't run like that. But Jamar, so to close it all off, the approval rating of the president 40% highest in 2 months. Reuters says that's showing that the Democrats might be wanting him to run again in 2024. What do you see? Do you see another Trump Biden? I know the nation doesn't want it, but is this what the Democrats and Republicans want? Income
I mean,
inequality, Nazis the Gilded Age. I know we got 87,000 IRS agents coming at us with the Inflation Reduction Act, and that's a proven fact.
yo,
And then
look,
we've
you
got
better
a
bow
proxy
down
war in
to
Russia.
Kamala. He might croak next year.
I mean, this guy eats so much ice cream that I doubt. I think he just runs on machines and ice cream now.
Kamala Harris will be president, and
This
then she's not going to run again because no one wants to vote for her.
Wall Street wants her. Wall Street picked her, bro. The only reason she's not in office right now is Tulsi Gabbard told everybody about her dirty little deals as Attorney General, locking up black people for smoking pot, laughing about it. It's the only reason why
Snaked
she's
her
not.
out.
Everybody said it. But
Told everybody.
other than that, she'd completely be the fucking. She'd be in the White House already, and we'd all be talking about Madam President already. If it wasn't for
I'm
Tulsi
telling
Gabbard.
you, Tommy, it's going to be Trump versus Kamala. I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you right now.
In that matchup, who do you think wins? And that's
Trump.
laughable, bro. Because she's gonna laugh. She's gonna fuck it up so hard, bro. She's gonna laugh about some soldier that died in burn pits, just like Nancy Pelosi did. Burn pits.
Oh
And
God,
then
yeah,
it's
that
gonna be
was
over, bro.
uncomfortable.
The Democrats are cringe. But guys, this is
Yeah,
with
they are.
Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. Be free thinking, innovative, and open minded. You can hit us up at www.tommynationpolitics.com. And Jamar, tell them where to find you, bro.
Yeah, you can hit me up on all platforms. Jabari VOC VOC podcast. Jabari VOC podcast. So it's Jabari VOC podcast.
That was us, guys. This was Tommy Nation Politics Tuesday live stream. We usually live stream on our website, Twitch, and where else do we go? Trovo, Facebook, facebook.com/Tommy Nation Politics. Anywhere you can find live streams. But we decided to get off the grid today because the FBI is running amok, and it's really, dude. I saw one of those. I wanted to tell you. I saw one of a Fed agent last week. He was cruising around the neighborhood. I could tell it was because he had
Texas.
the black Suburbans. Bro, they're looking around for things. They're bored as fuck. This guy's let him off the leash. Joe Biden's let him off the leash. I feel like that, bro.
Yeah,
so
dead ass.
There he has. This guy. They're in a candy shop right now. These fucking feds. But y'all be free thinking, innovative, open minded. Check out the podcast. Deuces.
Bye-bye, everybody.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Last words. Be responsible. Responsibility. Thanks for joining us today at Tommy Nation Politics. And don't forget to think responsibly. Free thinking, innovative, and totally open-minded. Tommy Nation.